Takže čau, zdravím vás, já jsem FO a dneska vás vítám u začátku mé kariéry My Team.
Welcome to My Team, where you're in control of a new team on the F1 grid. First things first, choose what kind of experience you'd like. If you're new to the series and want to jump straight in, well, we've got recommended settings for you just here. On the other hand, if you're familiar with the F1 games, then feel free to customize your experience as much as you'd like. That's it. It's time to take charge of F1's 11th team and lead them to glory.
Osadíme se na židli a převezmeme kontrolu nad 11. týmem. Tady vidíte moje asisty, to musím dát zaplý, protože jinak bych proprškoval. Když nemám tady lineu, a to můžu mít jak plnou, tak pouze u zatáček, tak taky úplně vypnutou. Protože nechám tady asi obtížnost. Budu si to muset zvýšit, taky nevím, na to budu obtížností. A dáme ultimate. Pak možná to pak byl, určitě to budu ladit. Budu potřebovat co nejdéle tréninku, ale abych jako neměl dlouhý závod, tak long a kvalifikace. Tady plná kvalifikace Q1, Q2, Q3 a pak je tady short. Takový one short, to znamená na jedno kolo, short jedna část kvalifikace. Prodá vlajky. Vidíš pravidla a vlajky. Dám ten nejvíc, aby byla víc pravděpodobnost. Tady je nastavení. V minulých dílech nebývalo tak často tak a frekvence událostí v těch odděleních a ready management si zvládnu sám, pak tady zdroje, buď můžu mít default jako normální a nebo můžu dostávat víc, anebo míň, to stejný platí i scale development a aby to bylo realistický, tak já si povolím. Přece jenom my jakožto majitelé vlastního týmu jsme tam příliš rychle. Vážně k tomu spíše předběžná, simulace, dříve, tady rozdělený F1 více o 100 zemí, jenom policie taky patří. Tady můžu mít to je audio, to se nechám a takže to setting, už mám a můžu přidat buď corner sport, nebo dříve a nebo si sám udělám vlastní tým. A pak si to už je jezdecké ikony. Prostě si potřebuji DLCčko a vás povypínám, protože vy i když jako teoreticky byli masáte se mohl vláčit. Ale ostatními. A tady jsou zase, jestli Formule 3, na to nemá DLC, dvojky, zákazita z toho strany. Tady zase chodisty. A budu zase dělat takto. Aiden, Kali, Masa a pak tady tí e-sportisty. Potvrdit nastavení. A tady teď tutoriál.
As the owner of the newest team in F1, your first job should be introducing yourself to the team.
Tak první práce, představit se. Jméno, příjmení, avatar. Jo, můžete být Sean, je tady spousta různých na výběr. Takže tomu nějak vypadá, tak bych možná bych uvítal. Asi si můžu video volit. Máme tu na výběr ženy a muže, takže jak budete vypadat, takže je jen na vás. Asi třeba si ho nebo když.
Now we know a bit more about you. Let's explore your background ahead of our first season. Hey there, my name's Andrew. I'm your head of personnel. It'd be useful for the team to know a bit more about your background. Give them a sense of how you intend to lead our efforts.
Takže profesionální pozadí, buď můžu být manažer na lidi, tady head engineer jako hlavní inženýr a pak je tady Chief Financial Officer.
And tell us a bit about this HQ. How well developed are the facilities here ahead of our debut season?
Je hodně důležité, protože už je platný rozpočtový strop a úvodní investice základní, pokročilá anebo extenzivní.
Hello, Mathis, head of your engineering facility. Let's discuss where we think we are in terms of car performance.
Mathis Hartmann. Starting car development, buď nic, nebo budeme mít nějaké upgrady, anebo těch upgradeů bude víc. Tady aerodynamika, šasí, powertrain a durability, ta spolehlivost už mají.
Hey boss, I'm Anissa. I head things up in your corporate facility. Let's discuss our financial situation.
A finanční situace, tak.
Right. With all that out of the way, our next task is to finalize our team's visual identity, our official name and branding.
název videa Cadillac vstupuje do Formule 1 o jeden rok dříve a tady asi nasadí 40, protože tu a tady máme logo Cadillacu.
Next up, there's an amount of contract work we need to get nailed down. First, we need to settle on our title sponsor. This will represent a key source of income over the coming season. We have a few potential sponsors lined up. Each contract splits our income in 3 ways. A signing bonus that we receive now, a weekly income paid over the course of the season, and finally, a bonus at the end of the season, if we achieve the goals set out in the contract.
Takže máme tady sponzory Xenon, Xformic a Seren. Týdenní příjem Xenon 315 000, Xformic 337,5 tisíc a Seren 348 000 a sezónní cíl získat 10 bodů do poháru konstruktérů nebo skončit 10. nebo lepší pohár konstruktérů u Xformic a Seren aspoň 5 bodů a podpisové bonusy. Tady od Xek přes 8 milionů, tady se nabízí něco pod 8 milionů, konkrétně 8 milionů bez 50 000.
This is our title sponsor, which are responsible for the bulk of our team's income. While much of that income is paid weekly, a large part is dependent upon us meeting our contractual obligations and hitting our seasonal goal. As we develop our relationship with this sponsor, we'll increase their loyalty, which over time can result in further benefits. That said, as our team's fan rating grows, we may be able to attract more valuable title sponsors. So, knowing when to prioritize building loyalty over the financial benefits of a more lucrative sponsor is something we'll need your guidance on.
Secondly, we have to make a call on which engine supplier we want to work with this season. Generally speaking, our choices can be defined as a trade-off between performance and durability, with the caveat that neither come cheap.
Durability, tak také výkon. Červená. Tak, vzhledem k tomu, že Renault opustí Formule 1 po sezóně 2025,
and finally, let's talk drivers. Obviously, we need 2 of them. So let's start with our first one. Each driver's performance is measured in a number of ways. Experience counts for a lot, and drivers with more on-track experience will have an advantage over less experienced competitors. Racecraft describes a driver's ability to work their way through the pack to finish the race higher up than where they started. Awareness represents the driver's skill at avoiding the steward's room. The higher this stat, the less likely they are to pick up warnings and penalties. Pace is a measure of sheer speed. Outside of battling their opponents, how good are they at pulling out consistent fast laps? All these stats contribute to the driver's overall rating, while focus represents their current state of mind and how well they're leveraging their rating out on track. All right, that's one driver locked down. Now let's pick their teammate.
Roman Staněk, český jezdec, je první potvrzení do Cadillacu. A jeho týmový kolega. Už to můžou být. Jo, tady už jsou pak jako ty ikony. Dámy a pánové, Felipe Massa se vrací do F1.
And all within our budget. Feel free to review your choices if you want, but otherwise I think we can move on.
Pro českého závodníka v barvách Cadillacu.
Finally, we need to approve our race gear. Don't worry about sponsors just yet, we'll add them later. For now, let's just focus on the livery design and suits.
Příběh je tvůj. Teďka to teď můžu změnit. Oblky, tady je B2. A také, takže má tady oblek Azure. Lokavice. Jo, můžu si to zase přesunout sem na dole, pokud bych dal na tyhle ty barvy, takže tak to bylo. Kopírovat a pak je používat. Tady je tohle. Na 75. To bylo, že Exformigu nechám asi tohle.
I think that's everything, boss. If you're happy with all of this, give us the nod. We'll get everything moving. And if not, feel free to go back and review your choices.
Když starting cash 0 a balans 750 000.
Hello and welcome to this very special live stream. Great to be with you all because today we're going to witness history.
That's absolutely right, Natalie, because for so many years we've wondered exactly what 11 teams would look like on the grid. Guess what? Today is the day we find out.
And we are here at the team's state-of-the-art HQ. We'll be seeing their brand new car very soon, but behind every team, behind every car, there's one person central to it all.
Yes, and they've got a real reputation for being smart when it comes to the cash, always keeping things profitable and bringing in the sponsors. The question is, though, can they handle the technical challenge of the sport, all whilst having to deal with the pressure of managing a team?
And we'll be seeing more behind the scenes as the season progresses. But of course, it is all about what happens on track. So, without further ado, let's see the fruits of their labour, the brand new 2025 car.
Auto má číslo 23, když nemáme Albona.
Well, thank you all for joining us. The team have done an incredible job. The car looks sensational.
It certainly does. Congratulations and all the very best for the season ahead. It certainly does. Congratulations and all the very best for the season ahead.
Welcome to your Team HQ. This is the hub of the team's operations, and it's probably worth having a look around, familiarizing yourself with the different areas you'll be responsible for directing. You can use these options to navigate around your HQ. Keep an eye out for notifications. I think Madison Engineering was looking for you earlier, and they were asking for you in corporate as well. You should catch up with them before we proceed further. Oh, and as you look around, keep an eye out for this message. It appears wherever you can summon more information. It's a very useful reference if you want to start digging into the finer detail of how the team functions. This is your activity schedule. Scheduling activities between race weekends lets you and the various facilities focus on specific areas of productivity. You can select the different facilities in your own schedule over here, and then select an activity for them to pursue. Picking the right people to work on the right thing at the right time can give us an edge when we really need it, so don't overlook the value of activities. You should consider setting some now, if you have time before the next race.
Také můžu nastavit automaticky, ale nejdřív si jako chci. Potřebuji dobrou mráku. Dobře, tak jo. Ten a engineering. Vývojové body budou potřeba. Tady už je to dilema. K tomu se za chvíli vrátím. Fokus je hlavně tím důležitý. Počkat radši. Remove activity a peníze budeme potřebovat. Vybírat virtuálního sponzora, šance druhého sponzora. Jestli se spíše potřebují soustředit na ale zase 5 000 navíc za cizor. Tak to by byly aktivity. Teď se přesunu sem na svoji židli, můj laptop, IT department, je tady vítá. Jsme v nevýhodě.
Hey boss, thanks for coming down. First GP's not far away now, and people are starting to roll off the project as we get more and more of the car locked down ahead of our debut race. We can't afford to lose momentum, so we need to start tasking people with work towards our first upgrade package. As it stands, we already have some resource points, data from testing, that we can use to kickstart our research efforts. We just need to know where you want us to start. Let's go pick an upgrade to research. This is where we choose our research projects. Research and development are split into 4 departments: aero, powertrain, chassis, and durability. Pick one of these departments and let's go choose the first research project you'd like us to tackle.
Tady zase máme skutečně podle dat jsme nejpomalejší.
I need you to pick us a research project before you leave, Chief. Copy that. That feels like a good place to start. I'll get the research team on it.
Vývoj za 440. Ještě něco, jo, tady v aerodynamice, takže teď už se vrátím zpátky a takže chassis calibration a aerodynamic calibration. Bychom to už měli mít hotový. A tady ty výkony aktuální, jako ten plný kruh je aktuální výkon, pak je tady ta čára, což je potenciál a všechno je to v jednom velkém kruhu competition potential. Tak papírově by na to měl být nejlépe McLaren, před Red Bullem, Ferrari, pak na Mercedes a Aston Martin by měl zabrat tu top 5. Haas, Williams a Racing Bulls. To bude ta druhá kategorie, která se dostane do Q1, ale Q1 skončí a pak Alpine, Sauber a Cadillac. Oni se očekává, že vypadnou.
Welcome to the personnel facility. All the money and technology in the world won't help this team if we don't have the right people in place. And this is where we focus on achieving just that. Obviously, some of the most crucial hires in the team are the drivers, and managing our relationships with both current and future drivers is a big part of what we do here. But the team is much more than just the drivers. Each facility is staffed by experts representing the top of their respective fields, and managing them is also our responsibility. This is where we manage our discussions with drivers, both our drivers and other drivers we might be interested in signing in the future. These slots are for our current drivers. We're obviously much closer to these two than anyone else, but it's still an important job each year, figuring out what's important to them and where their long-term aspirations lie. But we also have to be prepared for the future. If we lose one of our drivers, or if we feel we have a better prospect, it's important to have done the groundwork to allow us to negotiate with a new driver, or more than one. Just be cautious. The more drivers we engage with, the more likely it is that our current drivers will get wind of it, and that can very much affect how they feel about us, and about their future in our team. I've reached out with a very early preliminary inquiry to their side. I'll let you know how it goes. Hard to get a read on it at the moment. These things are always fluid and move quickly, but if they're interested in us, I'm sure things will move a bit quicker. První jezdec Andráky Miltonelli a zlepšení peče, teda Isaac Jar také by měl mít vylepšený rating a jakmile vyjde nový patch. Each of your facilities has a number of staff members. The more staff you have in a facility, the more productive it will be, but the more it will cost to run it. Facilities automatically recruit staff over time up to the current cap. But if you want to limit expenditure, you can reduce that cap. Be aware, reducing the cap to below your current workforce will cause the excess staff to be made redundant. And even if you raise the cap later, it will take time to rehire those roles and get back to the previous staff levels. Beyond that, making a lot of staff redundant in a short space of time can have a chilling effect upon both morale of the remaining staff and hiring rate. Okay, this is the facility improvement screen. Here are the improvements you can currently schedule for this facility. You can access the other facilities and explore their improvements from these tabs. Some improvements need us to have completed other improvements first. If an improvement is blocked, it will be listed here, along with information on which improvements we need to complete first in order to unblock it. Each improvement will provide us with an ongoing benefit, but they each also increase the size of that facility. As the facility gets bigger, it will unlock higher levels of that facility, which in turn unlock further improvements for us to pursue.
Hello, boss, and welcome to corporate. This is the hub for the team's finances, our corporate identity, and for our ongoing sponsor relations. Speaking of which, it's important to ensure that our new sponsors are reflected in our team's livery before we head to the first race weekend. Select customization, and let's go finalize the livery design. From here, select race gear. We want to focus on the car, so select the car option. This is where you can define the look of your car, liveries, driver number, and sponsor decals. Right now, we're focused on sponsors, so let's select this option. This is the decal editor, where you can apply sponsor decals to your car. Part of what we do here in corporate is build up our family of sponsors. So, over time, we'll have more of them to display on the car. The more secondary sponsors you feature on the car, the more money we'll make. But be aware, there are diminishing returns. Use this selector to focus on different areas of the car and start adding some sponsor decals.
A také budu mít
Nice one. If you're happy with that design, then that's what we'll go with.
Sunset, Striker, Stripe, Bash, Runner, Fit, Pop a Beat. Takže nechám tohle možná, že stejně si zvolím 99. A tady finance.
Okay, seems like everyone has what they need. If there's nothing else you want to do today, feel free to advance time from this menu. This will skip ahead to the next critical event, but don't worry. If anything comes up between now and then, myself or the other facility heads will interrupt and let you know.
Pokud se něco stane, tak mi vedoucí dají vědět. A pozor, už se ruší některé, protože nejsou finance.
Okay, just giving you a heads up, we're about 2 weeks away from hitting a negative cash balance based on our current spending. I would urge you to take whatever action you can to slow down and ensure we have enough cash reserves for the rest of the season. Please.
The research group have delivered us a design, but we need to actually build the thing if it's going to be of any use. And for that, we have the development group. This is where we turn the engineers' dreams into reality. Here's the upgrade we've researched, selected to start development. So it's up to you whether to kick this development off now or not. But when you do, you'll want to consider how you want to develop it. Certain options won't be available until you've invested a bit more into improving this facility. But the important thing to think about is that you need to develop 2 copies of the part, one for each of your driver's cars. If you only have a single part when you get to a Grand Prix, you'll need to visit the Assign Upgrades area to decide which driver's car to prioritize. Don't head off just yet.
Momentálně však ale nemáme. Počkej. Pouze jsme úplně bez peněz, jsme v mínusu.
Okay, so bad news. We're basically out of money. We've hit a negative cash balance. We can recover, but it's going to take real short-term pain to turn it around. You need to start pulling on some levers to free up some cash. Capping the workforce, stopping investment. I'll leave it to you.
Teď budeme ukázat reálný grid jezdců od sezónu 2025. Tak, jsme v Bahrajnu, kde se konaly testy, kde Okonska s ním bývalí týmoví kolegové u Alpinu. OK, grid je odhalen. Tak vývoj.
Hey, Chief. We have a part or 2 ready for development because they finished research. Let's get that in motion, shall we? Head to engineering for more info.
A už jsme jako v plusu, ale... Bohužel nejsou prostě finance. 110 000 za jedno, mám jenom 26 148, takže nebudu moci ještě vyvíjet. Tire allocation. Samozřejmě.
Right. Nearly time to head to the track. Let me know which driver you'd like to follow this weekend. You'll get a bit of a boost from your presence. We'll keep tabs on the other driver while you're busy.
Budu jezdit převážně za Romana Staňka. A jsme tady v Austrálii na úvodní trénink sezóny. Tak, tady naše zázemí. Uvidíme, kam to se vtáhne. Pro Romana bude cílem to prostě přežít. A budeme mít déšť na závod. A měl bych počet celý závod. Tak. a 20 přivodovek. Tak to je zvláštní. Něco takového se snad ještě neviděl, že na každý víkend budeme mít jinou převodovku Ale tady tohleto je omezený. Každopádně teď vstupme do tréninku.
The long wait is over. This is it, a brand new season. And before the show gets well and truly underway, we've got the all-important matter of a free practice session. It's great to be back.
A kromě sere, že doma se má stále tu přebu s tridentem, ale to bych mohl doupravit.
Hey mate, this is Mark. This is going to be a good year. We're going to have a great time together. And obviously the team are brand new, so I've set everything up from scratch. Let's make the big boss happy and show that we're not just here on the grid to make up the numbers, all right? We're not just here on the grid to make up the numbers, all right?
Practice. Yeah. Race strategy, fuel management, words on pace. Potřebuj se jako první rozjet.
Didn't really get the data we needed on that run. You might want to give it another go.
musím vyzet do garáže.
In this programme, we want you to focus on your fuel-saving technique. Lift and coast through corner entry to save as much as you can whilst keeping under the minimum lap time. Well, programme over, but that wasn't much help to us, I'm afraid. We need to run it again. We've had to spend time repairing the damage to the car.
To bude průser.
Okay, don't worry about tyres, just give it everything. In this test, we just want to make sure we can lap close to our rival's pace. Okay, that's the test over, but I'm afraid we didn't get what we needed. We're going to have to run it again.
Takže jdu na volný trénink.
Okay, be careful with the front wing, you've taken some minor damage. We've had to spend time repairing the damage to the car.
And if today's practice is anything to go by, we're in for an exceptional weekend of Formula One.
Tak první trénink pro Romana nedopadl úplně nejlépe, ale je to první trénink a já se s vámi budu těšit u závodu a prozatím je to ode mě všechno a zatím nashledanou.